feel like you've got some wiggles and jiggles to get rid of. And then find your way into your mountain pose when you're ready. It does feel good to just kind of move around, doesn't it? So finding your way into mountain pose and checking in with all of your alignment. So we want to make sure that the feet are nice and grounded, all four corners of the feet, and that everything else is in a nice line. And in particular, at the end of the day, we want to make sure the shoulders are over the hips, hands by your side, and let's turn the palms face out. Inhale and exhale. So bringing your breath into your practice. Now let's take some nice deep breaths, seeing if we can just get that breath to move all through the body. So a nice exhale, and then as you inhale, draw the breath in, let it go to the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes, the crown of your head, and then soften as you exhale. And inhale nice and full, and soften. And one more time, a nice full breath is going everywhere, unrestricted. Good, and exhale. All right, so we're going to let the knees and hips be soft and just move around a little more here. Arms back and forth. And then we're going to add the arms to our breath. So bend your knees, draw your arms up to the shoulders, and then as you straighten your legs, draw your arms long overhead. Inhale, and as you exhale, turn your palms out. And let's do that a few more times. With soft knees, draw the arms up to shoulder height, and then continue reaching up, breathing in, exhale, arms down, and two more times like that, arms up. Adding a little motion here to help the breath move even farther. Inhale, good, and exhale. All right, so keeping with this soft knees and soft hips, draw your arms long forward, fingertips touch, exhale, and inhale, open your heart, draw your arms back, exhale, fingertips touch, inhale, open back with long arms, really getting everything open. And the next time your fingertips are touching in front, draw your palms to touch, reach your arms up as you straighten your legs, inhale, take your right wrist in your left hand and tilt to the left. And then come on up and left wrist in right hand, tilt to the right. And let's switch back over, tilting left. We want to keep those feet grounded and switch, tilt to the right and tilt left and tilt right. And this time when you go over to the left, stay there and release both arms parallel to the earth. Press the left fingertips away. And then inhale up, take your left wrist in your right hand, tilt to the right, release the arms parallel, press the right fingertips away. Good, and let's inhale up and do a couple of soft forward folds, just like you were doing before, down and up. And bring the arms all the way up, palms touch, and hands come heart center, and release. All right, so we're going to take the feet just slightly wider than hip width distance. Keep the knees soft and bring the elbows out to the side here. Okay, so we're going to be moving into twisting, and we're going to be keeping the hips facing forward. So the elbows are in line with the shoulders here. Inhale. Exhale, twist only as far as you can with the hips still staying forward. So we're not doing this, we're keeping the hips forward. Now come back to center. Inhale. Exhale only as far as you can with the hips still squared to the front. Inhale, and let's keep going. Right and center and left. And center, take it right. Center and left. And center. We're going to go back to the right now. Stay here. Draw that right hip a little more forward and that left hip a little more back. Really square here. Lengthen through the spine, and as you exhale, extend the arms long. Take your gaze towards your right fingertips. And then on your next exhale, take your gaze to the left. And as you exhale again, take your gaze back to the right and come back to goalpost arms center. Inhale with length in the spine, exhale to the left. Stay here, bring that left hip a little more forward, right hip a little more back. Lengthen through the spine and take your gaze towards your left fingertips as you extend your arms. And then turning just the head, gaze to the right fingertips. And just the head, turning the gaze back to the left fingertips. Come back to goalpost arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, this time we're swan diving and we're going to stay here. So we don't really care if the hands land on the thighs or the calves or even touch the mat, wherever they're comfortable right now. Just come into a nice little forward fold and feel things starting to release a bit. Bring your hands to your hips, come halfway up. Take your arms out by your shoulders and then arms by the ears, and feel your feet press into the earth as you lift your arms long and overhead. Inhale, exhale, hands down by your side and shake it out. All right, so let's come to the back of the mat. We have actually had quite a bit of rain over the past few days, right? Yesterday was quite rainy, so we're going to be doing a little extra twisting just to bring out any dampness that might have been building up. So find mountain pose at the back of your mat. Inhale, float your arms up. Exhale, swan dive over straight legs. Remember, the hands are just going to land wherever they belong right now. Bring your hands to your thighs, hips back. Shine your heart forward for a half lift. Sink your hips down. Bring the hands to the mat. And walk forward into a plank. The knees could be up or down. And find your way from plank to downward facing dog. Now bring your right knee down. Left foot to the mat. Open the left arm up. So we are in a knee down side plank. Bring the hands down and come back to downward facing dog. This time bring the left knee down and open into knee down side plank, bringing the right arm up. Bring your right hand down, come into downward facing dog here. Inhale and exhale, and walk your hands back to your feet. Then when you get there, float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And we're going to do that again. Option coming into the straight leg version of the side plank. Inhale up, remember that's an option. Exhale, swan dive. Find your half lift. Sink the hips, bring the hands down, walk forward into plank. So now you're in plank, right? Whether the knees are up or down, when you come into dog, you are in a nice long dog alignment. So we don't move the feet or anything here. We just stay right here. Okay, this is our dog alignment. Inhale and exhale. Bring your right knee down, spin open, left arm up, and if you like, you can extend your right leg. So you're in the knee up version, or you can keep your right knee down. Bring the left hand down, come back to your downward facing dog. And this time bring the left knee down. I'm going to stay on the same side so I can look at you, but you go ahead, bring your left knee down, right arm up. And if you want to go into the straight leg version, straighten your bottom leg. Okay, bring the hand down, come into downward facing dog, bend one knee and then the other. And then bring both knees to the mat, sit off to the side, and take your legs straight. Find seated mountain pose. And take a couple of breaths here. Shake things out, shake the wrists out. Inhale and exhale. All right, so yes, it's true. I see some of you thinking this. Side planks do count as part of our core, but we have a lot more to do than that. So let's go ahead and bend the knees here. Okay. And we're going to take the arms forward and then lean back with a straight spine. Engage the core. So core engagement here. Inhale and exhale. And just come straight back up. Now we're going to take it back here and take both arms overhead. Bring the arms forward and up. Take it back. Bring the arms overhead. Raise your right leg. Right foot down, arms down and up. Take it back. Arms overhead. Raise your left leg. Left foot down, arms down. Take it up. Take it back. Arms overhead. We're just going to have a little fun with this. Take your right leg up. Maybe take the left leg up. Woo! Take both feet down and sit up. All right. We're very close to the earth, so if you fall back a little, that's okay too, right? Arms forward. Take it back. Okay? We're going to take arms overhead. Take the left leg up first. Right leg up. Bring the feet down, arms down, and sit up. Ooh, shake those legs out. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's see if we could smooth this out. So take the arms forward. As you come back, arms go up and right leg comes up. Is this making sense? And then smooth it out, leg down, arms forward. As you go back, arms by the ears, left leg comes up and bring it forward. We're going, if the double leg didn't work for you, do one right, one left. If you want to do the double leg, we're going to do it twice. Arms are forward, take it back, arms, legs up, smoothing out, bring it up. Take it back, arms and legs, bring it down and up, whew, and release. All right, let's take it down to the earth here. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to take the arms out to a T. Take your feet mat width distance apart. And let both knees go to the right and gaze to the left. So these are windshield wipers. We're going to see if we can get a little bit of core engagement while we take the knee side to side. So the way we're going to increase the core engagement here, first of all, is by slowing these down. So we're going slowly, slowly. The knees go side to side. And then we started with the knees right. So the next time the knees go left, you're back to center here. Now bring your legs together and raise them. We're going to be in knees over toes. So we're in tabletop here, the knees over the toes. Okay? And let's bring the knees a little closer in from tabletop. So the knees are closer to the chest, and we're going to let the legs sway to the right and to the left. And as you go, you notice where it is that your legs can go. That gives you a nice little work for the obliques without straining your back. Okay, so now you might want to take it a little further. Take your knees to the right, extend the legs, bend them, and come back to center. Knees left, extend, bend, and center. And maybe smoothing it out, extend as you go to the right, come back as you come center, extend as you go to the left, and come back center. Is all this making sense? Are we good? Yep. You all have it. And pretty much all of you started with your legs to the right. So keep going until you send your legs over to the left one final time and bring it in, and just hold on to your shins or your hamstrings or even just your knees and rock around a little bit. Inhale and exhale. All right, we're going to take the left foot to the mat, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, giving these hips a little break now. The right ankle over the left thigh, right foot is flexed. Draw the legs in towards you. Hold on to your right shin and just let your hips move around. So you might circle them one direction and the other. And then cross tightly at the thighs here, and you might find your ankles, okay, right hand to left ankle, left hand to right, or you might hold on to your shins or even the sides of your legs. And from your X, let the hips move around. So the thighs are tightly crossed here. You've made an X. We're just releasing the hips, inhaling and exhaling. Okay, now release both feet to the mat and take your right leg straight up. A little more hip release here, hands down by your side. And make some nice little circles. Start small and like you're drawing a circle on the ceiling. And just go a little bigger, a little bigger, a little bigger each time. Till you're really going down, out, and up. Big as you can, and then bring the right leg back up, and we're going to go the other direction. So we start out with small circles, making them a little bigger each time. Till you wind up with a nice big down, out, and up. And then bring your right foot to the mat. Let the knees open and close. And we're taking the left ankle across the right thigh. The left foot is flexed. The shin comes in towards you. Hold on to your shin and just move around. And then cross at the thighs, right? Tight at the thighs. Maybe you find your ankles, maybe your shins, sides of your legs. Move around so the hips get some nice release here. Notice how your left hip is feeling, and then release. Put your right foot down, take the left leg straight up, and make those circles small to large in the same direction. And then pause and make your circles small to large in the other direction. And when you get to a nice big down, out, and up circle, go ahead, bring your left foot down and let the knees open and close a few times here as we come to hands and knees. Okay, So make your way to tabletop. And we're going to take the right leg back, tuck the toes, press through the heel, and roll over the foot. So it's the press and roll, releasing the foot here. Press back through the heel. Bring the right knee down, left leg back. It's a press and roll. And press through the heel. And bring the left knee down. Okay, so let's take those arms long forward here. Come into a knee down plank. Remember, you can do this knee up if you like. We're doing push up, hips back. And just go through that a few times. Push up, hips back. You can be doing it from knee up or knee down plank. Wake up those arms, get the body ready, and come into child's pose. So maybe big toes together, knees wide apart feels good. Maybe just staying more lifted so the knees aren't in such a severe angle. But make sure that your forehead is connected to something, whether it rests on the earth or your hands, your forehead is in touch. And from here we're going to release into downward facing dog. So just make your way back into downward facing dog here. Okay. Take a couple of breaths. And let's go ahead and bend one knee and then the other. We are about to come back down onto the knees. We're going to be doing gate to half moon. So let's go ahead and from down dog, bring the knees down and come into kneeling. Now, if you want any extra padding, arrange for that right now, because we're going to be on the knees, right? Okay. And as discussed, you could flip up an edge of your mat, have extra padding. Okay. Everybody's done gate to half moon before. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and take the right leg out. As you know, your toes could be straight up, or your foot could be flat on the mat. We want the body facing forward. So you just decide what feels best to you and your right ankle and leg here. Okay? So gate pose, the right palm is face up on the right leg, left arm comes up by the ear. Inhale, just like in triangle, we keep the shoulders stacked as we reach to the right. Now we're not trying to reach the foot and do this. We want the shoulders stacked, the arm, the hand just lands where it lands, and come on back up. Okay, that's gate pose. Arm up, and here we go. Back to gate. And come back to center. Rest the arm, left arm for a moment. Left arm up. We're going back to gate pose. This time, as we come back up, we're going to let the left hand continue till it comes down to the mat, right hand to the right hip, right leg up. We're soft on this left hand here. It's providing support, but we're not crashing into it. And then if you want, bring your right arm up, yes? Okay, and then some people might even like to take their right arm by the right ear. So this is gate to knee down half moon. Come on back up, come into gate, and find your way to knee down half moon. Now again, we bring the left hand down, we bring the right hand to the hip. You could stay right here, or you could choose to start lifting things. Remember, this is your practice. And one more time, we're going gate to the knee down half moon. Here we go. With see how light you can get on that left hand. Okay, the core will help you out here. As always, bring it down and let's come off the knees for a moment. So let's take a nice down dog. Give those legs and the knees a break, wiggle around, and then bring the knees back down. Everybody okay to move to the left now? Left leg out. Left toes are up or the foot is on the mat. Left palm is open on top of the left leg. Okay, we're not pressing into the left leg here. Right arm is up and we're going to go into gate. Slide the left hand down and up. Slide and up and slide. And this time we keep going with that right arm. Bring the right hand down, left hand to the left hip. Okay? And maybe raise the left leg, maybe raise the left arm. Maybe take the left arm up by the ear. You find where you want to be with this and then come back. Left hand to left leg, take it over to gate. And find your version of half moon. So your version of half moon does not have to be the same every single time. And bring it down. And maybe one side feels more comfortable and natural than the other. Maybe they both feel exactly the same. Only you know that. Just work with what your body is offering. Knee down, half moon. This is our last one. And bring it back up. Bring the left knee down. Find your way to downward facing dog here. Could we consider down dog a rest pose right now? Let's see. See if you can find some ease and rest in this down dog. And then go ahead and journey your feet to your hands. Take a half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And let's just breathe. Find mountain pose and breathe into it. Inhale and exhale. All right, let's shake things out here. And we're going to do a few sun salutations, right? Just a nice smooth sun salutation. So come on, and we'll include a knee down crescent lunge with a twist to it, because remember we want to do a little extra twisting tonight. So let's have the feet hip width distance apart. Again, remember, we're going to be doing knee down crescent lunge, so go ahead and have any kind of knee padding or flip up the edge of your mat if you want extra padding for your knees. And we find mountain pose. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive over straight legs. Just let the hands go where they are supposed to be right now. Bring your hands to your thighs, hips back, shine your heart forward, half lift. Sink the hips, hands down. Step back with your right leg. Come into a lunge here. And then as we bring the right knee down, pointing the toes behind, left knee over the ankle, we come up into our crescent lunge. Low crescent lunge here. Now bring your hands to your heart and with a straight and long spine, inhale forward, lengthen the spine, and as you exhale, take your right elbow towards your left knee. Here's our twist. Okay, let's untwist, bring the hands down, and come into knee up or knee down plank, your choice. Find your plank. And then a nice slow chaturanga. Down you go. All right, so let's work on bring your hands to your thighs. The pinkies are face up toward the sky. Your gaze is toward the earth here. And roll your shoulders towards your ears, down your spine. Lift the pinkies, lift the heart. And release. Now bring your hands under your shoulders and find your way to downward facing dog. So remember, you can be going table to dog. You can go to dog any way you want. You can do the lift up, press halfway up, press the rest of the way up and press back. Inhale and exhale, whatever works best for you. We're going to take the right leg up now, step forward with the right foot, and bring the left knee down, and then make those arrangements for the low crescent lunge. Right knee over right ankle, left knee is behind the left hip, arms are up, reach up, exhale, hands to heart, with a long straight spine. Take it forward, and then left elbow to the right knee as we twist. Untwisting here, one hand on either side of the right foot. Tuck your toes, lift your back knee, and take a giant step forward. Half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. Okay, so we're going to do it the same thing with the twist, and most of you know that we're going to have an option here, okay? Once your elbow is to your knee, you can stay here, or you can fix your gaze, and we'll think about raising that back knee. So that's going to be an option with the low crescent lunge. Good? Everybody? All right. The word option is very important here, yes? Okay, bring your feet hip-width distance apart. Take a couple of breaths. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Hands to the thighs, take a half lift. Sink the hips down. This time we start on the left, so left leg back. Into the lunge, yeah. Enjoy the lunge. Then bring your left knee down and rise the arms up. Raise the arms up into the low crescent lunge. Okay, so from here, I'm going to switch sides so you can see what I'm doing. The hands come to heart center. We lengthen the spine again. Take that elbow to the bent knee. So this is the left elbow to the right knee. You can stay right here. If you want to lift your back knee, fix your gaze about 3 feet diagonally from your front pinky toe. Tuck your back toes and carefully lift that knee. Let's unwind here and take it back to plank. Knee up or down. Always your choice. And a nice strong chaturanga. All right, so we're going to go back into locust, but moving the arms this time. Bring the hands back by the thighs, the pinkies face up toward the sky. Shoulders toward the ears, down the spine. Pinkies lift toward the sky, and the heart lifts, the head follows. Okay, now from here, float your arms out to your side and lift a little more. So your arms are in T position. Now take your hands by your ears and lift a little more. Take your arms back to T. Notice if there's any more space for you to lift up. Take your hands behind you. See if there's any space there. And release. Oh, that was a lot. Go ahead and make a pillow with your hands. Rest your forehead on that pillow. Bend your knees. And let your legs move from side to side. way to downward facing dog. It's been a lot of work so far. So acknowledge that as you move through your practice now, right? It's been quite a lot of muscle work, vigorous. Let's see if we can find some rest in this downward facing dog. And taking the left leg up now, take a big step forward with the left foot, right knee down as we come into the low crescent lunge. And staying here, or bring the hands together, hands to the heart, lengthen the spine, and take your right elbow to the left leg here. And either stay here or fix your gaze about 3 feet diagonal from your left big toe and see about lifting that back knee. Bring the hands down, take a big step forward with the right foot, take a half lift, forward fold, and float the arms out and up, palms touch. And hands come heart center. And release. All right, so that was a lot of twisting, and then we did the gate pose to half moon, so a lot of energy already. Let's do some softer things here. Take your feet wider than hip width distance apart, arms up into a gentle 5-pointed star, and just down and up, moonflower to 5-pointed star. And we're going to take this to a sunflower, which is the forward fold version. So as your knees go out, fold forward as much or as little as you want. Right arm crosses in front of left, and you lift up. Knees out, left arm crosses in front of right, and lift up. So it's sunflower, just keep changing which arm is in front. That's just so the shoulders get a nice little even amount of opening through this. Okay, we started with the right arm in front. So the next time you find yourself in sunflower with your right arm in front, stay here, take opposite hand to opposite elbow, and do a nice little wide-legged ragdoll here. So start to just check around, see what wants to move. Let your head nod yes and no. And then as you come back to center and start quieting the movement in your head, always end on a yes. Take the whole body now back to stillness. And as you straighten your legs, let your forearms melt toward the earth. Release the elbows, bring your hands to your hips. Come halfway up and come the rest of the way up. Okay. We're going to do that ragdoll now from the left arm forward position. Okay, so let's spend a moment here regaining our equilibrium because we were down for a while. Take the arms up, 5-pointed star. And then this time when we come into sunflower, we're going to take the left arm in front of the right, cross at the elbows. And maybe you want to ragdoll, or maybe you just want to straighten your legs and drop forward. Maybe you want to stay a little higher here. Whatever is appealing to you, go ahead and do that. And then release your hands to your hips. Come halfway up. We're going to pause here for a breath so we don't get dizzy as we come the rest of the way up. All right, and then heel toe and shake things out. Inhale and exhale. All right, so the gate pose and the knee down half moon are based on the triangle posture. Okay, so we're going to do a little moon salutation, which will include the triangle and a gentle pyramid pose. So let's go ahead and have the feet hip-width distance apart. Just calming and cooling things down here, balancing out the, right? We know that the energetic, the really strong part of our practice is called the sthira, and the lighter part is called the sukha, like sukhasana, easy seat. Okay, so let's float the arms up, and let's make this as sukha as we can. Daisy and daisy, daisy and daisy. Now step open to 5-pointed star. So we know that the toes are facing out, right? And then bend the knees over the toes, elbows to waist. We're back in our moonflower. We come back to 5-pointed star. Turn the right toes to the right, left toes in at an angle. The arms are long here, they stay long. We reach and release, warming up for triangle. Reach and release. And here we go, just like we did in gate. We reach, reach, reach. Let that right hand go where it belongs on the leg. Keep the shoulders stacked. And raise that left arm. And if your balance is feeling okay with this, take your gaze toward your left fingertips. If not, bring your gaze either to your toes or the center of your space. Okay, now we're going to let that right knee bend as we bring the left hand down. Bring both hands to the mat. So this right knee is bent as much as it needs to be so both hands can be on the mat. And gently just bend and straighten the right knee. And then find the long edge of your right leg. So in other words, as long as it can be with your hands still on the mat, and hang out there. Now we're coming back into triangle, so the right leg is going to straighten. The arms are long. We come back up, taking it to 5-pointed star, bending into moonflower, step together, and daisy sway. And then find mountain pose here. Take a couple of breaths, reminding ourselves to be sukha about this, right? Let's go ahead and do it again, this time to the left. Arms up, and we're going daisy and daisy, daisy and daisy, and then step open to 5-pointed star. Bring it down to moonflower. Yeah, back to 5-pointed star. Left toes to the left, right toes in at an angle, and let's warm up our triangle. Reach and release. And then reach, reach, reach. Let the left hand drop to the left leg, right arm up. So the shoulders are stacked here. The heart is open. We don't worry about how far down that left hand is. That's not our issue right now. It's the openness of this triangle. Okay? Now go ahead and bend your left knee. Bring both hands to the mat. However much this knee has to be bent, bend it so both hands can be on the mat. And then gently bend and straighten the left leg, keeping the hands on the mat. And then straighten the left leg as much as it's willing to go right now with the hands still on the mat. And lift back into triangle. So we take the left hand back to the left leg. Bring the arms up, find 5-pointed star, the toes are out, and we come into moonflower, step together. Yes, and daisy, and daisy, and daisy, and daisy, and release. Okay, so let's find equal standing in our mountain pose here. Close your eyes if you like, or just defocus them. And just kind of take stock of your journey, right? There was a lot of energy that you've used so far, and maybe the moon salutation helped you feel a little more flowy. Inhale and exhale here. All right, so we're going to just let the body move around, okay? Move around in your space. Release anything that's feeling tight. We're going to spend a little extra time down on the earth doing some forward folding series, okay? So let's go ahead and just move around. Make sure everything is feeling like it's where it wants to be and needs to be. And then when you're ready, also see if there's anything you want, right, for when you're down on the earth. Maybe you want to have something to cover up with, or you like to have socks. Find your way to the top of your mat here with your feet hip-width distance. Find your mountain pose. And just visualize where everything is in space and line it up if it doesn't feel like it's in the proper alignment. How are those feet doing? Remember, we want all four corners of the feet to be in contact with the earth. Now float the arms up, inhale. Exhale, swan dive over straight legs from the hip creases. Bring your hands to the thighs, set the hips back, shine your heart forward. Sink your hips while you bring your hands to the mat and step back. You might go into down dog. You might go through a vinyasa, right? Plank, chaturanga, back bend, and then down dog. And you might have had it with down dog, and you can bring your knees down and just be in table. Whenever you get to down dog or table, let your hips move. If the knees are up, let the knees move. And then eventually, we'll all come and meet in seated mountain pose. So not rushing through. If you're in the middle of something, just complete it. We'll all meet in seated mountain pose. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. All right. So let's do a nice deep breath. Arms out by your side. The feet are flexed. Inhale. Lengthen through the spine. Draw the arms way up. Palms touch. And hands come heart center. And release. All right, so we're going to calm things down with a forward folding series here. Okay, so for this, we're going to start with the legs where they are, long forward and flexed. Inhale, long spine, arms overhead. Exhale, fold from the hip creases. Let the hands go. They drop where they belong. Inhale the arms up. Bring your hands by your hips. Take your legs to a V. Inhale, arms up, palms forward. Exhale, hands to the mat. The legs are straight, the feet are flexed. Inhale the arms up. Bring your hands down. Slide your feet together so the soles are touching. Those heels could be very far from the pelvis, or they could be closer. Inhale the arms up, whichever is working better for you. Palms forward. Exhale, release into forward fold. Okay, we're going to go sit on up. We're going to go through that series one more time. The legs are long, feet are flexed, arms are long. Exhale, fold. Keep your spine long. Keep your gaze past your toes. Inhale, arms up, hands by your hips, legs to V. Inhale, long arms, long spine, palms forward, feet flexed, hands to the mat, gaze past your fingertips. Inhale, arms up, hands down, soles of the feet together, arms up. Inhale, palms forward. Exhale, forward fold in cobbler's pose here. And then bring it up, arms long, legs long, release and shake everything out. Okay, we're going to work our way down to the earth here. So let's go ahead and feet to the mat, roll it down. So from here, we're going to have the heels close to the hips. We'll be doing some rolling bridges here. Okay, so your hands are down by your side. Your feet are in good contact with the mat. So let's make sure 4 corners of the feet, good contact with the mat. Exhale. And then as you inhale, start to lift your arms up. Let the hips come along for the ride and bring your arms behind you so the backs of your hands touch behind. And then as you exhale, the arms start to come up, the spine rolls back down, and hands wind up on the mat by your side. Okay, so let's just go through that. Find your pace, your way through it. It's just a rolling bridge here. The arms come up and go all the way back. And then the slow roll down, replacing that spine from top to bottom. Adjust your feet if you feel like that's indicated for you. And the next time you come down, just go ahead and relax into it. You can let your knees gently open and close. And then just come into a neutral spine. Okay? Inhale and exhale. I'm just going to keep the spine in neutral for a moment here. So while we're waiting, let's go ahead and open the fingers, wiggle them, and make a gentle fist. And then rotate the wrists one direction and the other. All right, now bring the hands down and then extend the arms and legs, arms overhead, legs long. Inhale, and as you exhale, draw your knees in, hold on to your hamstrings and just hang out here. Relax your spine, and then go ahead and just rock side to side, nice and soft here. So a nice little spinal massage. Then we're going to come back to center, put the hands on the knees and make some circles. So the hands stay connected to the knees, press the knees away, to the right, in, and to the left. Circle around. And then holding the knees in, pause, and press away to the left, in, and to the right. So we're just making circles the opposite direction. Good, and the next time the knees are in, hold them in. You could drop your hands to your side with your feet lifted, point and flex. Yep, you could take your legs higher, you could leave them lower, whatever feels good to you. And then circle the ankles one direction and the other. And then go ahead and bring your feet down to the mat. And let your head roll from side to side, checking in with the neck. back to center and check in with your body. Do any final moves that are being indicated by your body, or any realignment. Maybe it feels like the hips aren't square, or you want to play with taking your legs straight and bending your knees to see what feels better to you right now. Just go ahead, work with your body, scanning. And then, if it's a good time for you, go ahead and work your way to your final relaxation position for this evening. Okay? And again, if you get there and something still doesn't feel right, move around till it does. Okay, and before we move into final relaxation, just take a moment here to acknowledge that this was a very vigorous practice, and this is a very well-deserved rest period so that your body can absorb and assimilate the benefits of the work that you just did. So find yourself comfortable. Inhale through the nose. Slowly exhale through the mouth. Allow your body to melt onto the earth and be in your final relaxation. Begin to bring your awareness back to your space. Invite a deeper breath. Gently bring movement back to your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. And as you inhale, extend the arms and legs long. Exhaling, draw your knees in. And find your way over to a side. Drawing yourself up to a nice, easy seat. As you turn your gaze to your own good heart and your bright spirit, thank and honor yourself for your practice, and we thank and honor each other for sharing this time. Namaste.